We head towards the polls. New Yorkers have the option to vote for a deal that would strike up for a greener future for New York State. However, the money is not free, and some say the deal is just too expensive. Capitol correspondent Amel Taligi takes a closer look.
Advocates are reminding New Yorkers to flip the ballot on November 8th and vote for Prop 1. The Environmental Bond Act would be a $4.2 billion investment in clean water, air, and the environment.
This funding will help communities upgrade their drinking water systems, upgrade their sewage systems so that every single New Yorker has clean water across the state. You know, this will help us avoid some of the long-term costs of climate change, of crumbling infrastructure. This will save us money over the long term.
Advocates say some of this funding will come from the Infrastructure Act and Inflation Reduction Act from Washington, and that this would be a small down payment compared to related costs from natural disasters that will happen in the future. However, the New York State Conservative Party opposes this, saying the debt service will eventually trickle down to New York taxpayers.
There's this whole belief, and I think it's accurate. Do New Yorkers put more into the federal government than they get back? I think in this particular case, this bond issue plays into that also, in that, once again, New Yorkers are going to spend their own money on something in the state, whereas the federal government is spending a lot of money nationwide, and we should be getting our fair share in New York.
Kasser says the interest rates on those bonds will also be at a higher rate than normal. Assembly Minority Leader Will Barclay says the state is currently in a $58 billion debt. While all New Yorkers want clean water and good sewers, there are parts of this bond act he's not on board with.
There's also a lot of so-called green type projects in this, whether it's zero emission cars, whether projects for climate mitigation. I don't even know exactly what that means. In fact, almost half of this proposed debt is going to be spent on those types of projects. So I question whether that's a good use of New Yorkers' money.
The option to vote for the Environmental Bond Act will be on the backside of your ballot in every county except Nassau County, where it will be on the front of the ballot. Reporting in Albany, Amel Taligi.
And you can find much more on the ballot propositions and the candidates running for the upcoming election.